And now we're recording, so here we are.
Hello,
Welcome.
my name is Android.
And I'm Pog, and this is Mad Banter. We are a very informal duo, meaning we don't have a lot of bells and whistles to this podcast. Uh, Meaning if one of us has to get up and take a leak or get something to drink or something, that's just what we're going to do. So, yeah. Then, uh, I guess the rules behind this is we just get on here and we just start talking about anything. We don't really have anything in mind. So, I mean, like, a lot of podcasts they have gimmicks or something. One of them will talk politics, or one of them will like answer questions or something. And I'm not throwing shade at any other podcasts. It's just their shtick, and that's what they do. Well, our shtick is the fact that we don't know what we're doing. So that's
It's like
something.
Seinfeld.
Exactly. It's a
It's
podcast
about
about
nothing.
yeah, it's about absolutely nothing, right? Like, speaking of Seinfeld, though, let me tell you. I'll tell you about
You gonna
Seinfeld.
tell me? You gonna tell
Let
me
me tell
about?
you.
You
Yeah,
gonna tell me about
hush, and I'll
something?
tell you. Yeah, let me tell you. I I have come to appreciate Seinfeld more and more as time has gone by.
Me too. I think I don't know if it's just that. Well, I mean, growing up watching it, whatever. But like as I get older, I think my sense of humor just gets drier.
Yeah, the fact that it's not really so much the fact that it's actually not about anything. It's just that what it's about is so mundane. Every episode, it's just so mundane. It's almost
Well, each episode is its own isolated form of about something.
yeah, some sort of satire. Just uh, it's not even a political statement. It's just them just living life, man, and the different stupid crap that happens. I think that's what makes it so relatable. Is that
It
not
is.
it's
It
not always
is.
so off the top. It's not always so off the wall. The episode where the golf ball gets stuck in the whale. That's pretty outlandish. That's a pretty outlandish thing, but
There are some, but I mean, whatever.
the episode where I think it's George accidentally burns down his the parents' cabin, I think is what it is, and they're all freaking out, and he has the nerve to look at her and go, it just occurred to me that you never gave me the receipt from the restaurant. He's like, all of a sudden, he's just worried about the money and the calculation. It's ridiculous, right? Like, I mean,
It is. It is.
I think we should. I think in the what do you call it? In the spirit of a questions of the question segments of podcast, right? In that spirit, if you were a Seinfeld character, who would you be?
Kramer, no questions asked.
You be Kramer. Uh,
I'd definitely be Kramer.
I'd say me. It'd probably be Elaine, but I'd probably end up with Newman. No, I'd probably be George. It'd probably be George.
Yeah, you're
Like,
George.
yeah,
You're George,
I'm
bro.
totally George. Yeah, I'm totally George.
I
I
mean,
mean,
don't get me wrong. I feel a little bit of all of them sometimes, but I think I'm Kramer.
yeah, yeah,
Or I'd like to be anyway.
yeah, yeah. It's funny, man, because like they're all so good. They're all so good. So,
They are. They are.
oh, speaking of Seinfeld, there's this new video game coming out, right? I saw a preview for it today, and let me see here. Let me tell you. Let me tell you about it. Uh, there's this new game coming out for the summer. It's a part of like something 2021 summer games or something.
Oh, the
Like,
Summer Fest or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the same thing that they released the Elden Ring trailer on.
that's what it is. Actually,
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude. That's the next
Dark
Dark
Souls
Souls like
developer from Software and
developers
Game of
game.
Thrones
Yeah.
writer George R. R. Martin. collaborated on. So this, what I took from this trailer, okay. First of all, I knew Dark Souls, right? I saw the guy's name, I just couldn't remember. You know what I mean? And I was like, why do I know that name? You know, and then I saw the gameplay and I said,
He is
oh, this is gonna be balls hard, right? Then I saw that George R. R. Martin was helping him make it, creating this world, and I said, "Well,
created the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect for him because he's used to letting his fans down. You know what I mean? Like constantly letting people
Oh,
just die.
true. Giving them
You
the
know,
shaft.
yeah, just giving them straight up the shaft. You know, you think you're making progress. You know, you get to liking your character, and then they just die because that's just better. That's just better television or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the red wedding,
Oh, that's
the
reality.
yeah, the whatever. I'm George R. R. Martin. And then I thought to myself, and I said, but I wonder if it's going to be lazy development.
I mean,
Because it's George R. R.
I
Martin,
don't
right?
think
Guy couldn't
so.
even finish. George R. R. Martin, he couldn't even finish his own original books, you know? He had to just pretty much let
Well, I think
HBO
since it's
take
a
over.
collaboration,
Yeah.
you know,
He had to let HBO take over, Game of Thrones because he just. He conscientiously objected to working hard to just finish his books.
well, I
you
mean,
know,
whereas I understand your concern and I share it, I will not let you sit here and slander the name of Miyazaki
Fair enough. I'm
because
not talking about
From
Miyazaki.
Software goes all in on their like Souls style games.
Screw
So,
Miyazaki.
like,
Screw.
you,
Screw
you shut your
Miyazaki, bro.
mouth! You shut your mouth!
Screw Miyazaki. George R. R. Martin, J.R.R. Tolkien. The game is called Elden Ring. And from what I gathered of the preview of it, you get a special ring. You get one ring that could possibly
No,
rule
no,
every.
that's a misinterpretation of what's going on.
It's like, hey man, it's like epic rap battles of history. You even stole my RR. Like I just you know I just don't have a lot of respect for George R. R. Martin, and I know that's probably
I do.
controversial because he's so edgy. But you know what, man? Just because you're an edge lord, don't mean you're the sharpest edge. You know what I'm saying?
I understand,
I
and
can
I'm not
I can
here for the
stab
George
somebody to
R. R.
death
Martin.
with a butter knife, my dude. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I
Like,
feel you.
I bet the
I
game will
did
be good. I
watch
mean, I
Game
was
of Thrones,
intrigued.
but
I
I
was
didn't
totally
even watch
intrigued.
Game of Thrones. That's what I'm saying. Like, I share your concern in that sense. He can't even finish his own book series, whatever. Like, I get it, but that's not why I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here for
I'm not here for the.
Miyazaki. I'm
I'm
here
here
to
for the
support
From
my.
Software,
I'm here for that from software.
from that, for that From Soft, from
Where,
soft till hard.
where. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be all right. It'll probably be all right, because he does have Miyazaki, and Miyazaki cares
Yeah,
about what
you're not even
he
gonna play this
creates.
shit. Shut up.
I mean, I'm probably
It's
not.
gonna
I'll
be too
probably play
hard
it for
for your
like, yeah,
dumbass.
I'll probably play it for like 10 minutes and be like, you know what? I don't play games
This
to
is
die
too hard.
constantly. Yeah, I don't play games to die constantly. You know what I mean? If I wanted to feel bad about my media, I'd just go watch Game of Thrones or something. Like if I wanted to feel like the bad
Well,
guy always deserves to win, I'll just go
also
watch
that
Game of
also
Thrones.
brings up another conversation. As somebody that doesn't like necessarily play them because they're too hard, would you benefit from an easy mode? Would you prefer that, or would you prefer to just watch somebody else play it?
No, you know what I like? I don't. I never do easy mode, but I never go into hard mode. You know, I always do
I feel
normal
you.
because I feel
I
like
always
I get enough
do,
of the story, right? I get enough story mode, and I
and
get
enough
enough
challenge.
and enough challenge within that realm.
Yeah,
And
I feel you. Me
and then when it like God of War was an exception, God of War
Yeah, even the
gripped me
new God
in.
of War I went into on hard mode also.
Well, I didn't begin in hard mode. I play it through on normal, get an idea, get a feel of it, and then go to hard, then go to God mode just because, I at that point in time, by the time I was
Yeah,
doing God mode, I'm having like uh split person. Let me tell you, I'm having a split personality disorder. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I am
Yeah,
Kratos. You know what
I feel
I
you.
mean? So I'm all, I was all about it. But Elden Ring, it does look good though. I mean, it looks interesting. It really does. I felt like I had to throw shade as somebody who's an Advent Token fan or
No, I feel you.
Toking fan. You can't
Oh,
you can't you can't be too
Tolkien.
southern when you pronounce his name because then it comes out Token and people are like, what? And so I don't want to get our channel kicked off already or shadow
Tolkien.
banned. Yeah, I don't want to get a shadow banned just because of a mispronunciation. But yeah, so that's that's my take on Elden Ring so far, though. It's Game of Thrones on God mode,
No, it's not.
where you're
No,
traveling around with the One Ring, going after a celestial tree. From the looks of it,
well,
that celestial tree looks cool, though, man. Like I'm into
that
that.
celestial tree does look cool.
Yeah, like ever since like Norse mythology and stuff, I'm all about like
Dude, me
the
too.
idea of Midgard
The,
and all
the
that.
giant fucking tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too. I dig
Ratatasker
that.
all over it and all that. Yeah, like for sure. I'm all about that. So like, it looks good. It does look good. Like I don't want to throw shade because there's probably people out there who are saving up right now. You
I'll
know what I
fight
mean?
you. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, exactly. You don't talk bad about Miyazaki. How dare you talk about Miyazaki?
How dare you even slander From Software's name like that?
Yeah, they made Dark Souls.
You just assisted with the world building. It's not like you wrote the whole shit. Shut up.
I feel like that pitch meeting is Miyazaki and George sitting around, and Miyazaki's like showing him stuff. If they come in here, they get a sword, and that sword will be really cool, type of thing. And George is like, but what if the
Where's the
sword
dick?
accidentally chops his, yeah. And so now
Why?
to obtain this great sword, they gotta walk around dickless. You know what I'm saying? Like I can just see it. Like I don't know why. That's just. I feel like that's the mind of George
The
R. R.
whole
Martin.
game, you're going through the game like, where are the dragons?
I feel like that dude's brain wheezes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even that
Yeah.
dude's brain wheezes when it's just resting. It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
There's gotta be
Like,
titties. You know what I'm saying?
like Michael Moore.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if because I haven't seen Michael Moore in like forever. I wonder if he's actually George R. R. Martin incognito.
In disguise.
Yeah, we should come up with like a fan theory. George R. R. Martin is Michael Moore.
Got it. Have you ever seen them in the same place at the same time?
How come after Game of Thrones came out, Michael Moore just vanished? How come we haven't seen Michael Moore do anything since George R. R. Martin showed up on the scene? I'm telling you right now, get a picture of Michael Moore and George R. R. Martin together and swap the hair. That's all you need to do. Oh man, that's terrible, dude. Some mad shade right there. There's a lot of Game of Thrones fans who are gonna be like, you know what? And that's fine. If you guys want to leave a lot of hate mail in our comment section, please do. You know, and
Pussy.
give us a thumbs up,
Do it.
like and subscribe while you're at it, and ring that bell notification so you are updated on all of our. You're just back there hyping it up. I feel like right now, like in my mind, I can see us talking, and like while I'm standing in front of you, like saying all this stuff, you're just
I'm
like
like
popping
hidden
up over my
behind your
shoulder.
silhouette. Yeah, like I'm hidden behind you,
And then you pop.
popping up out of the background.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And then
stuff.
sinking back in like a meerkat.
Over each shoulder.
Oh man, yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like that. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, if you could make any video game, what video game would it be?
If I could make a video game,
Yeah, like okay. What I mean is in the vein of what we're talking about. Like, let me tell you, in the vein of what we're talking about, I'm going to tell you, if you could have like any kind of collaborator, like you got Miyazaki and George R. R. Martin collaborating on this, right? If you could just grab somebody, live or dead, you know, who would it be? Like to make a video game with, and what would the video game be about?
oh shit, I feel like you made that really complex.
I kind
I
of
don't
did,
know.
and in the beginning it wasn't supposed to be, but as I got to
You could
rolling
grab
with it,
anybody
yeah, like if you could
to
just
help me
grab
make a video
somebody,
game.
yeah, just you're like, oh, the first Buddha, bam. it's,
Yeah,
it's about sitting
the first.
cross-legged and freaking meditating. You know what I'm saying? And then suddenly,
Oh,
bam! You're in
that's
the middle of a
so
volcano, and like, what would it be?
I don't I don't know. Does it have to be a real person?
What do you mean? Does it have to be a real person? What are you gonna do? Go get Heathcliff the cat? I feel like that's really obscure reference. You're gonna go get Garfield?
I just
You
I
gonna
don't know. Well, I meant I was
like if they don't have to be
thinking
real,
more
I'd
like
go get
mythological figures, but like whatever,
oh
like
you mean like
Zeus,
Zeus? I'd
you know,
grab Zeus.
or like Odin, like I don't know.
Why do you keep calling me Jesus? It's
Hey
because
Zeus.
that's your name. No,
Hey
they're
Zeus.
saying, "Hey Zeus," God
Hey
of
Zeus.
lightning, mess with me and I'll shoot a thunderbolt up here. Yeah, like I, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like
I don't know, man.
if you go mythological, then then you could say the video game can actually come alive and suck you in, and next thing you know,
Oh, then it's like Jumanji.
yeah, then it's like Jumanji. Yeah, and so
Yeah.
no, make it a real person. Yeah, make
Nah,
it a real
make it a real
person.
person.
Yeah, make it
Okay.
somebody, because I
Um,
mean, if I were gonna go fake or something, I would get Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbs
that's a good idea.
because,
That's a good
and I'll
one.
tell you why not Calvin, even though Calvin seems like he's the creative one.
Calvin's a little dick.
Well, I mean, it's not so much,
It's true.
but it's not so much that. I just feel like if I grab Hobbs instead, he's a part of Calvin's creativity. So
That's true.
I've already grasped the essence of who Calvin is through Hobbs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and besides, Hobbs is a cartoon tiger that ain't gonna eat me on sight.
Right. He's awesome.
Yeah, so that'd be cool to kick it with a tiger that ain't just gonna
Shoot,
F you up.
man. I don't know. I feel like if I feel like it would be a real missed opportunity to not get somebody like George Washington and make a real-time strategy game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just like a great general from history.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, like just a game that I would like to make is like a Pokemon knockoff, right? Like I would like to make one of those.
Yeah.
But I don't know who from history or whatever like I would grab to help me make that, you know.
Get Mary Shelley.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like she understands mutation and all that stuff pretty well, man. Like,
Yeah, I don't
you know,
know.
like Mary Shelley.
Why? Yeah, who would what's your pick?
Oh man, I don't know. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I think the homeless guy that lives just down the street from me, and we'd make like a Street Fighter game, only it'd be like homeless people, and
Oh, Fighter.
we
Yeah.
call it like bum fights or something. No, I'm just kidding. That's not
Fun
funny.
fight.
That's not funny. That is
Fun
that is really
That's so
insensitive. That is so
No, that's
insensitive.
hilarious.
We're in so much trouble now. Oh no! It is a
Nice.
growing epidemic here in America, the homeless, and we should all feel bad about it. And
Fuck the homeless.
what? Oh my goodness! No, seriously
This
though.
problem
Yeah, here's me
pervading.
trying to be all diplomatic, and then you pop up over my shoulder again. Whoop, F the homeless. Um, no, I feel like I would get well, dude, now that I've said it, I'm kind of stuck on the bum fights, though. I mean, really, if you think about it,
Bum fights. It's a good one.
that would that would be fun. You know, I mean, that really would because, I mean,
It really
I
would.
feel like even though it sounds insensitive, hear
I
me
would
out.
play that. I would
Yeah,
play that.
yeah, like it sounds insensitive, right? It does. It sounds like I'm
But
making
if you
fun
make
of
it real
people's
good,
problems, like real
it's just
world.
if you make it really good, bro.
Well, yeah, but you think about it. If it took off and people really liked it, for instance, excuse me, I'm burping right here in the mic, burping the mic, burping the mic. But if you, okay, if it took off and people really liked it, because it does sound really provocative. You know, you could give them like special moves and all sorts of stuff. You could straight up go Street Fighter meets Mortal Kombat, and they're all just bums or homeless, you know, or people without living situation, right? Permanent living situation. Uh, I feel like that would actually create, because they would become so popular, that would make people become more caring towards
Draw
their,
attention to the issue.
yeah, like people would become more caring to their local bum. You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, that one looks like a Sneaky Pete from from
You're fucking dumb.
I'm sorry. I know I should have waited for you to laugh first, but I can't help the fact that I make myself laugh. That looks like Sneaky Pete.
No, Sneaky Pete.
That looks like Sneaky Pete from Bum Fights. Let's
Sneaky.
go. Yeah, let's go buy that man some Mad Dog 2020, man, because that dude won me $20 in the tournament the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, you know, right? Am I wrong? I don't feel like I'm
good.
wrong here.
No,
I feel like
you. That's a good one.
I feel like people would become more, you know, empathetic towards the homeless if the homeless in some way served a purpose. Ah,
Served a purpose.
I wish that wasn't the way. I wish there was a better way to word that. But if the you know
Yeah.
because
No,
you see
I know
people.
what you mean.
You're driving down the road, you see a guy out there with his sign, and it says, blah, blah, blah. And then there's always going to be...
It adds a sense of compassion almost.
Yeah, there's going to be like that one person that, either you're in the car with them or you're just driving by them or something, but you'll see them lean out the window and be like, get a job! And it's like, dude, if you look like that, would you be able to get a job right now? Like, I mean, honestly. Like, all right, fine. You know what? We'll help this guy get a job. We're going to go buy him some toothbrush, a toothpaste, a comb, We're going to take him down to the, what do you call it, the Love's truck stop gas station. And we're going to pay the money so he can use one of the showers that they have there, because you know how them truck stop gas stations have the showers for the truckers that are coming through?
Yeah.
Because you'll hear them over the intercom. Your shower is ready, Rubber ducky, your shower is ready, So we'll get, if we really care about them getting a job, then go buy Sneaky Pete all the things he needs to look good to get a job, right? That's just our homeless guy project's name now. He's Sneaky Pete, right?
Sneaky Pete.
Yeah,
Sneaky Pete and Berserker Bill.
Berserker Bill. Sneaky Pete will be the more agile one, and Berserker Bill will be like a veteran of some sort.
Ooga booga.
Yeah, that one is like
just like this big old pinhead.
Yeah,
meathead.
Yeah, just yeah. He was like a veteran or something. He saw some stuff.
Listens to 3 Days Grace. No,
Why three
that one
days?
didn't land.
Yeah, I'm like, why 3 days grace? Yeah.
Because he's a meathead.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
3 days
I
grace.
was just being a dick.
Listens to Nickelback. Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like this conversation's taken a really dark turn. So yeah, so I would
Okay, I got
pick
one for
to.
you though.
I was gonna say I would pick to make a video game now. In all seriously, no, what? Who? What's the one you got?
Uh, so what is a video game franchise that's dead now that you would reboot?
Oh, the Legacy of Kain series.
Oh yeah, we've talked about
Without a
this.
shadow of a doubt. You're gonna get me on one here in a minute now because
I sure am.
they.
I was gonna say Twisted Metal.
Oh yeah, Twisted Metal would be cool too. Twisted Metal's
I
a good
would
one.
love a new Twisted Metal game.
Yeah, it's just so hard to. Those are hard to
Yeah,
pitch. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They really
they're
are.
just it's just so fun.
Because it feels like only NASCAR games are like NASCAR fans and people who really enjoy like Fast and the Furious buy racing games like that. You know. But with that
I don't know.
said,
I like racing games.
I liked Midnight Club. That was probably like the
I like
last
I like
racing game that
I
I
like
really
racing games.
liked. I liked Midnight Club, you know, and I mainly liked Midnight Club because of all the like in-depth customization you could do on that game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The new Need for Speed is pretty good.
I haven't played Need for Speed in like forever. I think the last
The
Need for
new one's
Speed
pretty good.
game I played was Need for Speed Most Wanted, like the first one.
If you were to get the EA pass on PlayStation, it's like $5 a month, and you could play the new Need for Speed for free. Need for Speed Heat,
Oh, really?
yeah, along with a
Hmm.
bunch of other games.
Yeah.
Something to give thought to, I guess. But yeah, Twisted Metal,
Yeah.
that would be fun.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like that would open up people's eyes to the idea that cars don't have to just go in a circle, or you don't just have to race them through town like you're Vin Diesel. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like
Like,
Death Race or whatever.
yeah, like yeah, that's Twisted Metal is Death Race
Yeah,
basically. And I don't want to say it's Death Race before Death Race was Death Race, because there's the old Death Race movie, with Sylvester Stallone in it.
right.
So so I mean, uh, maybe Twisted Metal got its inspiration from Death Race, but it would be really hard to
Possibly.
say it didn't.
It'd be hard to say it didn't get it like inspiration from it, but like obviously Twisted Metal takes its own creative liberties, you know.
And Sweet Tooth really needs a comeback, man.
You do. You
Sweet
do.
Tooth, yeah. I mean
How you
that,
gonna do my man Sweet Tooth like that?
yeah. Just kind of forget about him like that. Yeah.
Exactly. What about my man Sly Cooper?
Sly Cooper. You talking about the raccoon?
Yeah, man.
I mean, by the
You
time
don't like
games
Sly
like Sly
Cooper?
Cooper came out and Jax and Dexter, I think isn't Jack.
Jack and Daxter.
Yeah,
That's
Daxter.
another one.
That's another one. What is it? Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank is getting a game on
Yeah,
PS5.
like those games right there. Like by the time those games like that came out, man, I was kind of older, and
Oh, I feel
nothing
you.
against them. They were just kind of
I feel you. Yeah, there were more. Yeah,
geared
they weren't
toward like
geared towards.
kids who to get them into games.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. I feel you.
So games like that, I just
Action platformers.
yeah, I don't think I've ever played like any of those games all the way through. I think I just played them at the Walmart on the demo modes.
Feels.
Yeah, and that's
I like
that's it.
Sly Cooper a lot. I like Jack and Daxter a lot. I'm not real big on Ratchet and Clank, which might be like a sin, but whatever. It's not that I hate Ratchet and Clank. It's all right. It's just I don't know, not very complex.
I
You
think
know, it's pretty simple.
I think I'd bring back like Donkey Kong Country, man,
Oh yeah.
because I really liked the original three games. I didn't really play Donkey Kong Country 64, and I didn't play like Jungle Beat or whatever that one was, where you had to actually buy bongo drums
The bongos, yeah.
to play the game. You know, I didn't play any of that, but I played the original Super Nintendo ones, 1, 2, and 3, and I really liked all three of them. And they were, you know, I couldn't tell in those days because my hand-eye coordination was probably a lot better because it was easier for me to geek out on a video game because I didn't have things like bills and feeding a family and stuff like that running through my mind, you know? So it was easier for me to geek out on games, but those games were actually pretty hard too, you know? And like by the third one, it was just way harder. You know, it's like the first Donkey Kong Country, yeah, it's hard, but you know, it's manageable. Then the second one gets a little bit tougher, but by the third one, man, you know, it's just way more difficult than any of the original two. And the fact that it's called Donkey Kong Country, but you're only actually Donkey Kong for the first one, kind of.
Like the one with like Mario or whatever.
No, well, no, no. Donkey Kong Country for Super
Oh,
Nintendo.
you mean Donkey Kong Country? Okay,
Yeah,
my bad.
yeah. You're Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, and then in the second one, you're Diddy Kong and what is that girl's name, man? What was the girl Kong name?
Dixie Kong,
Not Sassy Kong. Can't
Dixie,
Dixie?
Dixie Kong,
Yeah, Dixie Kong.
Kong.
And then you know, in the third one, you're Dixie Kong and Baby Kong or whatever it is, and you know, just this giant baby who looks like Donkey Kong, only he's wearing a onesie, I think, if I remember it correctly.
Yeah, it is Dixie Kong.
Yeah,
Just double
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 checking.
confirm.
Yeah, I it just kind of, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, it's funny to me that you're only actually Donkey Kong in the 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 first one, and then in the rest of them, you're Dixie Kong and Diddy Kong and Baby Kong. I don't even know what his name is. I'm
It's
trying to.
Kitty Kong.
Kitty Kong. Okay,
Yeah.
glad you looked that up. I was trying to look it up, but then I realized I was clacking the keyboard keys too loud in the mic, and I was like, that's not gonna work. Yeah, so maybe I'd bring that one back, but I think I'd go if I had only one shot and I didn't want to blow it. You know, you only get one shot, so I better own
One.
it. You know, my palms are sweaty, my feet are heavy. You know,
This week arms are heavy.
yeah, something. I don't know, man. I
Popping
don't
on a
know.
sweater already. Mom spaghetti.
Yeah, something like that. You know, like that, something like that. You know, if I only had that one shot and I had to hold it, I would. I think I'd go with Legacy K series. It's an obscure game, but it's got enough of a fan base that there may be some people who listen to this hear that and say, you know, that series of games, as flawed as they were technically, because they were, you know, the story is what keeps bringing you back. You know, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't even really reboot it. I would just continue it from where it left off. You know, is what I think I'd do with that. You know, because
Yeah, like soft reboot it.
well, no, not even really soft rebooted. I just continue it. You know,
Oh,
just
just
make it.
continue it.
Yeah,
I
just
see.
make it a continuation. You know, uh, the That's the problem, man, with media nowadays, man. Like, people don't have enough creativity, so they just reboot everything. You know, we're gonna reboot this and we're gonna reboot that, and it's like you don't need to. You know, the originals were perfect. You know, leave them alone. If you want to continue the story, that's okay. Nobody's gonna hate you for that. Just, you know, you don't have to retell what fans of it already know and then try to put a spin on it that makes it your own because it's not your own. You know what I mean? It's somebody else's. That's the that's the way I look at it. Maybe I'm getting too deep now. I'm thinking too deeply in this, so maybe we need to like
I
shift
mean,
gears and be like,
whatever. But
but seriously though, right? Isn't that the problem?
I
Like,
mean,
that's why
I
most movies suck nowadays, and nothing. You know, like,
I mean, it just depends. You know what I mean? Would is it something that would benefit from a reboot? You know what I mean? Like that's what it is for me. You know, because like for example, I think Twisted Metal would benefit from a reboot just because it's like, well, whatever. You know, there are people that are unfamiliar with it anyway. You know, like the average person isn't familiar with it anyway. So it's like renewing its life, I guess. With something like The Legacy of Kain, I don't think it would quite benefit as much from a reboot, yeah, as much as it would a continuation, you know, like you said. So I don't know. I think it just depends.
I think it's all about the way you handle it. Like, maybe with Twisted Metal,
Yeah,
instead of so much
yeah.
rebooting it, you recall back to the original stuff so hard, at least to kind of get to whet the appetite of a new player to where
Or
they
you could
want to.
just remake the original game. You know what I mean? Which would be fine by me also, as long as it's a remake and not a remaster. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like because I mean, Twisted Metal would benefit from a remake as opposed to a remaster. You know, not that all games need one. You know, just that whatever. Like I think it would be better
Oh
off that way.
crap! My headset went out. Oh, there it is.
Your headset went out.
Oh yeah, for a minute there. I
Oh, F.
yeah, I had the, you know, it's plugged in here to the computer and everything, and I guess I jerked it out of the freaking back of the monitor here for a second, you know. But yeah, so the last thing I caught of that whole sentence was it would benefit from a remake more than it would a remastering because a remake, if I understand that correctly, would be like
Just making
reworking
the game
the
again from the
mechanics
ground
and
up,
yeah and stuff. Yeah,
as opposed to reskinning it, upraising it, its graphics. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I
Like,
think a remake would be better than a remaster,
yeah, because I
personally.
mean, what good does a game with clunky, with what's gonna be clunky
Right,
control?
exactly.
Yeah, just it looks good. Yeah, like Final Fantasy VII. You know, that's a remake.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
not a
remake.
remaster. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It's just better gameplay.
Though a remaster would be cool too. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I
Just
mean,
like don't get me wrong, the remake is outstanding. Like I loved it, but a remaster would be cool.
it. You know, I still haven't played that.
Which
The
I think they're going to on mobile actually. I think they were talking about like remastering it on mobile,
that would be
which would be
cool.
interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't
But
mind playing Final Fantasy VII again on.
on your phone,
Yeah, like I
it'd be
want to get
so
anything
cool.
done
So
though.
better.
I want to get anything
Yeah,
done. Like I'd
feels
make it to the golden saucer and then get into the chocobo racing, and then I'd know instantly I've got to make a chocobo that can run over land, mountains, and sea, so I can get the Knights of the Round Table again. Because there is no way I'm going to beat the underwater weapon without getting the. You don't even have to beat the underwater weapon. The underwater weapon has to go. Okay, it's
yeah.
all got to go. If it's on the screen, you got to get it. You know, that's just how it
I
works in Final Fantasy VII. You know, like you've got to get it. Or that final fight with Sephiroth is gonna be. You know, you're gonna if you win that, you're walking away with one person alive. You have used up
Right.
all your resources, everything. You have used up all of it. But if you've got everything you need that you can possibly get in that game, you've got, you've just, you're doing better. You're getting good, you know?
And I think they stayed really faithful to that in the remake, even though they did it in a different way. You know what I mean? I think it still stays pretty faithful to that idea that you will, like, I don't know, to make this as easy on yourself as possible.
Do
You
all
want
of
to
it.
get all of this, and even then, it's going to be an exhausting effort at the end of it.
Do all of it. Yeah,
Do
well,
all.
I mean, you know, that was the thing. Like, Final Fantasy VII then was pretty inventive. You know, like the original game was inventive because it was still turn based fighting, right? But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Final Fantasy VII was the first Final Fantasy game that, even though it was turn based, you only had a certain amount of time to do what it is you needed to do. Or if you sat there for too long without picking like without giving your squad their commands on what they needed to do, the enemy was going to go again. So, for
Oh,
instance,
dang.
yeah, so if you just sit there scratching your butt going, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? The enemy's just going to keep going and slapping you.
Yeah.
You had to go because
Oh,
then,
kind of like Chrono Trigger.
yeah, like kind of like Chrono Trigger. Like if
I
you,
like Chrono Trigger.
yeah. So I mean, one of the tactics for Final Fantasy VII was is if you can learn your characters and learn strategy fast enough, then you can give out all your commands and pretty much clap some cheeks quick. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get in there and you're gonna hit the enemy hard and fast, and you might do that a couple of times before they even get after you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was really fun.
Yeah, man. I think you would like the remake. It's a little
I'm sorry.
different.
I'm sorry. Cody just came in and he showed me a picture he made for his friend.
No, Carson took that picture with
Oh,
the filter on, and it says that.
oh, for real? Oh, so he didn't even make it. His friend just took this picture, and I'll have to tell you about it later when we get done here. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It doesn't pertain to this, but it's ridiculous. I told him to send me the picture, so I'll send it to you later. It's I don't know if he realized what he did, but he did it. You know. I don't know, but yeah.
That's
So
funny.
yeah. Tell you what. Tell you what. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I'll tell you what. I just told you. So
Just done told me.
I just
Done
done
told.
told you. Oh man. Yeah. So I feel like we're kind of rounding towards the end of this. I think we had some highs. I think we had some lows. I think we had enough fun-hearted stuff, light-hearted stuff. I think we had some in-depth search into our souls, our very souls, and figured out, the important things like how we feel about remakes over remasters and what we would remake or remaster, what kind of video games we would make, and who we'd be on Seinfeld. And the fact that Miyazaki sucks.
Shut your mouth. Your mouth.
Yes, somebody's gonna get on there. I would appreciate the hateful comments. In fact, if I get hateful comments, that's cool. While you're here, like, share, and subscribe to this channel so we can keep growing, and bring you new content.
Unless you're a fucking bitch.
We're gonna start a
In which
Patreon. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't even know how to even begin doing a Patreon. It seems like everybody's doing Patreon nowadays.
paid your mom.
Yeah, I mean, I, I don't what? No, you know what?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't. I feel like he just went with that because it rhymed.
You heard me, you little bitch.
All right, before we go, if you were a wrestler, if you were a wrestler, right? Like if you were in wrestling, let's talk about wrestling for a second, okay?
Yeah,
I love wrestling,
I
but I
know.
can't watch it.
Yeah,
I just can't.
because
There,
it's bad now.
yeah, like it's so terrible now. Who is your favorite wrestler of all times, based upon what you know of it?
Oh, I don't know. When I was growing up, my favorite was Rey Mysterio. But like, it's hard for me to pick a favorite now.
Well, Rey Mysterio's good. Rey
Yeah,
Mysterio's good.
I just liked him growing up. You know what I mean?
Well, because he
I
was
was
like a superhero, man. Like everybody does. Oh, everybody
luchador.
does. Like, yeah.
I like the luchador thing.
Modern wrestling now, it seems like all the new wrestlers coming out, all the hot new guys. You know, hot new guys. Is there a better way I could word
Guys,
that? the
hot new
the
guys,
upcoming the new upcoming wrestlers. You know, superstars.
hot
You
new singles in your
know.
area.
Shut up. I feel like they all kind of, do the acrobats now, the acrobatics.
Yeah,
You know,
they do.
they're all hitting natural nat 20s on their dexterity
Yeah,
checks. You know, on their acrobatics checks.
yeah,
Which
I feel you.
it's not an acrobatics check. People check 3.5. Okay, it's you roll a jump, you roll a tumble, you do all that. Just because you're just because if you compile it all, do you mean to tell me a dwarf with a good acrobatics is still going to be able to jump and catch a chandelier and swing across? No, no, no. Anyways,
Yes,
yes, of course, he's got a good acrobatics.
yes, he's got good acrobatics.
Oh my
What do
gosh.
you mean?
It takes away from the
Of
fun of the game,
course.
man. If you make a dwarf, if you have jump and tumble, if you split that all up and start actually just break up what acrobatics is and split it up, jump, tumble, all that stuff, and you purposely make a dwarf with a good jump, you already have a great character arc. You know what I
Right.
mean? It just adds more to it. Well, you can do that if you have it all in
Yeah.
acrobatics. Yeah, but come on, man. Come on. Taking all the fun
Just
out
because
of the
somebody
job.
can do. Okay, look. Just because somebody can run and jump doesn't mean they can swim.
Exactly. You mean to tell me? You mean to tell me that Michael Phelps, who's a great swimmer, is gonna run the decathlon like freaking Caitlyn Jenner? You mean to tell
Yeah,
me he's
like
gonna do
even
that?
even even this, like you think Usain Bolt is gonna outswim Michael Phelps?
No. No.
No.
Of course he's not. He's
Just
just gonna
because
run across the
no.
water.
Yeah, right. He's just gonna run on top of
he's,
it.
gonna, he's gonna skip across that thing like a stone, man. It's just,
Point still stands. He ain't swimming.
but he ain't swimming. No,
My
he's
man
not.
is running.
Yeah, Michael Phelps ain't gonna outrun Usain Bolt
No,
ever, ever.
ever.
It's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So, I feel like, anyways. So, it feels
I
like
rest my case.
all these new wrestlers are starting to become real acrobats. But like
Yeah.
in Rey Mysterio's heyday, he was really one of the only ones out there really doing that a lot. And that's not to say there weren't others out there. Ricochet, who is a wrestler with the WWE, he used to be known as Prince Puma. And
Oh, okay.
he started off in Lucha Underground.
Right.
And I mean, he was good. He still is good, don't get me wrong. I just feel like he had more going for him in Lucha Underground than he did in WWE, you know? So,
Yeah.
I just feel like, you know, so that's why I can't watch WWE anymore. But I would love, or even modern wrestling, for instance, because it all just, there's just no
They're
pizzazz.
all about the acrobatics rather
Well,
than just like having like
I'm
character.
well. I mean that. I guess I worded that wrong. It's not so much. It really isn't so much. Uh, it really isn't so much. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. It isn't so much the
Okay.
acrobatics that bothers me because you got wrestlers like Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho who are acrobatic, but they're also real good technical wrestlers who
Yeah.
put on an excellent match in New Japan. And Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr., you know, and just things like that. You got guys who can do acrobatics, but they're also really good technical wrestlers. I feel like
Yeah.
you just don't have enough of these kinds of matches anymore. There was once upon a time where even your low card to mid card matches were, a lot of them were good. Not all of them were winners still, but a lot of them were really good. You know? And I just feel like you don't even have enough of that anymore. And then your main events are just kind of boring as well, you know? So,
Yeah.
I mean, right now, Roman
I could
Reigns
see.
is really the only star that WWE has. And he doesn't, and he's a heel, you know? Which
Yeah.
is good. Which is good because he makes a better heel than he ever did a face. But he doesn't have a good face to be chasing that belt away from him. Because one of the
I
laws of wrestling is you want the face to always be chasing the belt. You don't want him to have it for too long. It's good to have him get the belt every once in a while and hold it for a little bit because that's when you get your feel good moments, like Stone Cold Steve Austin getting the belt at WrestleMania.
right.
You know, great moment, stuff like that. But you don't want them to have it for too long because then it becomes stagnant. You want the
Right.
face constantly trying to get the belt back because it's that chase, and that really builds up. Excuse me, I burped again in the mic. Burp in the mic. Burp in the mic. Getting the, because then that builds up that heel. You know, this is the heel. He is the one obstacle in your favorite wrestler's way, and he's dangerous. Nobody but your favorite wrestler, this face, your Stone Cold Steve Austin, if you will. Nobody but him can defeat this heel. You know,
Yeah.
so we don't have enough of that anymore. You know, Roman Reigns is a great heel, and we're at the point where it just feels like the belt should stay on him because there ain't nobody worthy to take it from him, and that's crazy. That's crazy. I am utterly astounded. I am utterly freaking astounded at that fact. Utterly. So that's how I feel about
Yeah.
it. So like I want like a new Macho Man Randy Savage or something.
Yeah. I like Macho Man. The Macho Man.
I feel like if we had somebody like that dude out there, you know, chasing Roman Reigns, I feel like Roman Reigns would be like, this dude's freaking insane. He's a the man comes out wearing all the, like, just decked out in all the colors, man. You know, I mean, just looks crazy with his cowboy hat and his attitude, and he's got these big muscles. And Macho Man wrestlers are usually pretty tall people. You know, they're usually 6 foot and up. You know, the Macho Man wasn't an
Yeah.
extremely tall guy. So here's this
No,
dude.
he wasn't.
Yeah, here's this dude decked out in sequins, wearing a cowboy hat, doing the craziest promos. He's like, "Oh yeah, Mean Gene, the cream always rises to the top," and he's doing freaking magic tricks and making cups of creamer just appear out of nowhere, and then flicking them at the camera and going, and then doing like a turnaround, his little spinning, going, "Cuts the cream," and then all of a sudden he's got another cup of creamer, and it's like, where's he pulling those from, dude? Like, you know what I mean? I could see up his sleeves. Where's he getting those from? Like. And he's got this attitude, and he's just ripped, going after Roman Reigns. That would throw anybody off. That would throw anybody off.
It would.
You'd be on top of your game right now. Roman Reigns is at the top of the mountain, and all of a sudden you got this dude come out of nowhere. That would throw you off. You'd be thrown off by this man.
True.
I'm just saying, like, that would be interesting to me. I would love to see that.
I wouldn't mind watching that either.
I would love to see Macho Man. I mean, Macho Man's dead, so it wouldn't be Macho Man.
Right.
But so I mean, I guess it's just a dream that
I want it to be.
But I want that to happen anyways. I want it to happen. I want something with that kind of flair, that kind of spark to come out of nowhere with a neat original idea and present itself as a legitimate threat to Roman Reigns, because as it stands right now, Roman Reigns shouldn't lose the belt. Sure, he's a bad guy, but he's a heel, and the heel shouldn't have the belt because good should trump evil and blah, blah, blah. I get all that. I'm not waxing philosophy here. I'm just saying, I don't care. If there ain't a good enough face to take the belt from Roman Reigns, then shoot. Oh, let him keep it. Let him keep it till he dies. I don't care. At this point, I don't care because there ain't anybody decent enough to take it from him.
Right.
That's what I got to say to that. Wrestling nowadays, man. Yeah, I can't even watch it. I literally have to like watch channels and just keep up with the news that way to keep my finger on the pulse, because I can't sit through like 3 hours of Raw. Watch.
No.
Yeah, watch SmackDown and appreciate the fact that SmackDown at least does things a little bit better than Raw, but at the end of the day, it's all still kind of subpar.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm appreciating is Roman Reigns, which is a sentence I never would have thought I'd ever utter. Because when Roman Reigns, not when he first came out, but when he first started getting his own singles pushes, I mean, man was garbage. No offense, Roman. If one day, for whatever reason, you ever hear this, dude, you're like 5 of me. Don't come and snap my spine or anything, guy. I'm just telling you, you knew you were garbage. That's why the crowds booed you. You knew you had to go and rework your character, and you did a good job, so give yourself a pat on the back. But in the beginning, you sucked, my dude. So,
Heels.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, so if you could be a wrestler, like, how would you do it? What would your gimmick be? Do you think?
What would my gimmick be?
Yeah, like, what would you do what idea, because, I mean, that's the thing about wrestling.
I'd be the Magic Man, baby.
And I'll be El Diablo. Shake and bake, it's over. You're the Magic Man now. And I'm El Diablo. And if you don't chew Big Red,
Then fuck you. Yeah.
he'd be so how would you put that over with the crowd, the Magic Man, if you will? How would you do that? We got just a few more minutes to do this, and the thing about wrestling is you think you could have a good idea and then get out there and it just becomes a real stinker. So there's no real right answer here. You know,
I
this
don't
gimmick
know. I
could be
feel
the
like
best gimmick ever thought of, or this could just be another crapshoot. You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like I would come out in like 1870s snake oil merchant attire, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't,
Wait, 1870s snake oil? Oh, like a snake oil salesman.
yeah, like a snake
I
oil
thought you meant
merchant,
all
you know
over
what I
your
mean?
body.
No, well, I mean,
It's like
yeah,
he come out
but no.
greasy, wearing all these speedos, and how would he let everybody
Nah,
know that
nah.
this is 1870 snake oil he's got all over
No,
his
no,
body?
no. And like, you know, like the type of dude that you would see outside being like, here, I'll sell you this. I don't know.
Right, right, yeah. You got the little
This will
mustache on the
cure you.
top hat.
Yeah, and they're like, this smells like piss.
Put this in your butthole; it'll get rid of them hemorrhoids. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Little dabble with the finger, you know, not too deep, just the tip.
And I would also do magic tricks like a magician. Because I'm the magic man.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Would you be holding like a bottle of snake oil? You know,
Yeah,
would
and
you
one
have the
of those
bottle
like white tip wand things.
literally?
You know?
Yeah, like
But the
tapping
thing is that I'd be really bad at magic.
the.
I'd
Like,
be really bad at magic.
you'd like go to pull a rabbit out of your hat, but you'd like quickly like put a rabbit in the hat, trying to conceal it so you
Yeah,
could pull it
like
out.
yeah.
You'd have like a audience member, like one of the people in the crowd, get in the ring with you and be like, pick a card. And when they pick the card, you'd guess the card and you'd guess wrong.
Or it'd be like, all right, now let me see it. And it'd be like, okay, and it'd be like, all right, was the two of clubs your card?
You guess like all 52 cards. And they'd be like, no. And then flip it around and it's the instructions that comes with the
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Would you try to do like the Houdini type of magic stuff, like you're gonna escape from this straitjacket, only you can't escape from the straitjacket, so your opponent just sits there and wrecks you, and there's nothing you can
Like,
do about it?
yeah, dude, that would be hilarious.
I would love that actually. That would be like one of the funnest gimmicks for like a good minute.
What's
That would
that
just
one called? It's called like Money in the Bank or whatever, where they put
yeah.
the money at the top of the ladder.
It's
And
it's a
a,
contract
is
that
that what it is?
yeah, they call it
Okay.
money in the bank because it's a guaranteed title shot and you can cash
Oh,
that
I
in
see.
whenever you want, you know?
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the thing is that I'm going into Money in the Bank, except I'm being lowered into like a tank, a water tank from which I have to escape.
So everybody else is in this ladder match trying to get the money in the
Yeah,
bank suitcase and you're just in the
and I have to
background
escape
stuck in
before I
this
can
tank of
even
water.
before I even have a chance at getting the
You
money.
know what would be fun? You know what would be fun about that match is like after everybody got done beating the crap out of each other and everything, like all of a sudden you do escape and you just get out of the tank and you look stunned and you're the only one who's fresh, like other than just being
Right.
stuck in that tank of water, you haven't gotten beat up at all, so you just run into the ring real quick and scramble
Or
up the
beating the
ladder.
shit out of dudes.
No, no, not even that. You just run up the ladder real quick. You don't even touch anybody. You
Get
just
it?
see that opportunity, so you run up the ladder and snatch the snatch the briefcase. I'd be like, "That's a real magician right there, bud."
Yeah, that'd be good, dude.
Oh man, that would be a good match. That would be hilarious. Like, I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
people would be like, "What the, what the heck is that?"
You can have that one. You can have that one.
Yeah, now he's gonna get wrecked by the champion because this guy can't wrestle. But that would be doing something like that would be the best way to transition your character into a more serious kind of character.
Yeah.
Like now,
Now I've mastered the dark arts.
yeah.
And I've summoned El Diablo.
Scorch marks. How can you read them?
This is ancient sorcery. This is ancient sorcery.
Yeah.
Quite powerful too.
You went from being you went from being like freaking I don't even know, a crappy magician. I can't even think of a crappy magician's name off the top of my head. I don't know enough about.
I would go from like Professor Dumbledore and Potter Puppet Pals.
Sure. Sure, okay. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's gonna get that reference. I don't know. But it sounds like you, yes. That sounds
Yeah.
exactly like that character.
Exactly what it is.
To being Hal from Hal's Moving Castle. Like all of a sudden now you do have a focus and you
Now I do possess sorcery, like actual legitimate sorcery, like no games.
Like
I am the Magic Man now.
No games. Straight up, no caps. You could shoot fire from your hand. You're just,
Just like come at me, bitch, fireball.
I was thinking like you could have a gimmick where somehow you know how to wrestle but win by misdirection. But yeah. Your way sounds so much better. We'll just put it all
I think it would be funny, like if I'm constantly getting in trouble because I'm shooting fireballs in people's faces. Like you can't use sorcery.
Yeah, you can't use actual magic. Yeah,
it's cheating.
Yeah, like
it's cheating. You can't smite me with a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
You can't smite me with a spear of ice.
Yeah. You can't freeze me to the ground. What are you doing? Yeah, exactly. Like you're standing in the ring waiting for your opponent to come down the aisle, and as he comes out and standing at the top of the stage in front of the Titantron, you just cast a lightning bolt down on top of him. And then freaking walk down there, drag him to the ring, put him in there, and pin him. And you're like, I win. I win. Sure, why not? It's like...
It's only me, bitch. It's only me.
I'm coming for you, Roman. I'm coming for you. It's time you faced the Magic Man. So try to understand. Try to understand. Oh, try to understand, Roman. I'm the Magic Man. Yeah, that would be good. I could see that.
Yeah.
That could be your catchphrase, too. You could just tell people, try to understand. Oh, try to understand. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I could see that.
That, or it could be I'll cast a spell on you.
Because you're mine. I'll cast a spell on you because that ass is mine. Oh yes, bro. That's it. I'm calling Vince McMahon up tomorrow, being like, dude,
I can't do shit right now. I got a broken ass ankle.
That's fine. You're the Magic Man. You'll just float to the ring.
Oh, true.
You just hover above it, dude. Just hover around. Just prepare to see something amazing. Just float to the ring. Yeah.
Mind freak.
Oh man. Oh man. Speaking of magicians, before we go, speaking of magicians, I know I've said this like 5 times, but before we go, 5 times already, but let me tell you something. Houdini, right?
Yeah.
was, he's a great escape artist, whatever.
He's the fucking man, I guess.
The Batman by Gaslight comic book series,
Yeah.
it takes place during that era of Houdini and stuff.
Yeah.
I am fascinated by it in the sense where, because you're taking Batman and you're taking that story and you're transporting it back in time, so you've got to alter it to fit that time frame. And Batman, like, because the modern Batman, he went to like Tibet and he learned martial arts from different different people,
Right.
and this and that. This Batman in Batman by Gaslight, he's constantly referencing his teachers of that era, and one of the two of the coolest
Houdini.
two of the coolest lines he's got in that series is one of them when he's trying to figure out a mystery. He tells Catwoman of that era. He says, "Well, one of my mentors, who was a great detective, once told me, when the possible has been eliminated, then it is the impossible that must be the answer." He doesn't say who that is, but if you are a fan of Sherlock Holmes, you know who that mentor is. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, cool. Batman learned from Sherlock Holmes. Cool.
That
And you
means
could
he's
say,
a real person in the
yeah,
universe.
he really is a detective. And it's like you could say, well, I mean, Sherlock Holmes though wasn't a real person in that era. That was he was a creation. Yeah, he was a creation of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Yeah, I get it. You're overthinking it though, dipstick. Batman's not a real person. You know what I mean? You can make Sherlock Holmes a real person in a fictional story involving a man who dresses up like a bat and solves crime.
It's fine.
You freaking bot. So there's that. And then another one is, he gets handcuffed to this rail and he escapes it and handcuffs the guy who handcuffed him to him, and he goes, "Houdini taught me that trick. I paid him $50 or something like that." And I'm like, sweet. Like, that's cool too. Yeah, like, so.
Which means he literally approached Houdini and was like, "Teach me that."
Yeah, teach me all that. I need to know
me that.
all of that.
I need to know that.
Yeah.
Teach me that.
Every last bit of that, I need to know. Yeah. I just, that's cool that they did that. You know what I mean?
Like, that's cool.
Yeah, there's an animated movie, Batman by Gaslight, where he goes after Jack the Ripper. And that's
really?
A pretty cool. Yeah, that's a pretty cool story.
Cool.
Yeah, it throws you off a little bit. I don't want to ruin it for you. Go watch it. It's on HBO Max.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
I might watch that.
Senor. Yeah, dude. But I was thinking, like, with that, because, like, I don't know how involved that series is or anything, because, I'm not into comic books as much as I was when I was a kid. But I think there's a lot of potential for that, like Batman versus Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Batman versus Frankenstein's monster. Batman goes after Jack the Ripper. Batman goes after Spring-Killed Jack. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Like,
that would be way fucking cool, dude.
He knows about science and stuff like that because he learned from Nikola Tesla. Just there's all kinds of cool, like, stuff you could do with that. Like, and maybe they did. I don't know how many comic books are involved in that series. Like I said, I'm not an aficionado, in comic books anymore. Frankly, I kind of fell off during the 90s, But not to brag or anything, but I do have the original Infinity Gauntlet 7-issue series, first print. Yeah. So, yeah. So for the fans of the movies, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, let me tell you. It doesn't even hold a candle to the actual comic book series. It doesn't. No, I'm not saying that they're bad movies, and it was a good way to end that era, and Endgame or Infinity. What was it? Infinity War. Was that what the name of that
Infinity
movie?
War.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Infinity War was really good. And Endgame, there's a lot of talking. There is a lot of
Yeah.
talking. Like, it, there's a channel, and I don't know if I really want to promote somebody else's channel on our podcast, but at the same time, I really respect this guy. He's got a channel himself,
Filmento.
Phil, like film, and then
Yeah.
ento, right? Filmento.
Like Memento. Like Filmento.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, where he talks about the Thanos rat problem. Go watch that. You know, anybody listening to this, go watch that, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about, because it's. I didn't break it down nearly as in depth as he did, but a lot of his concerns I had too, while even watching the movie, but because when the first Iron Man came out, man, I was still in my 20s, not even my mid 20s yet, you know, and now I'm in my late 30s.
Yeah.
So, like, it was just nice to, I felt the goosebumps during the credits when they're showing the silhouettes of the original
Yeah.
Avengers, and you're seeing, their names, in cursive, which, if you don't know what
Yeah.
cursive is, not you, but to the listener, if you don't know what cursive is, that's a form of writing they used to teach in schools. In cursive over the name. I felt those goosebumps because it brought me back. You know, but there is a problem. The original Marvel Cinematic Universe is extremely flawed, and just those comic books that I have alone show that. You know, it's easy to say in hindsight, and yes, I myself was swept up in the Marvel universe, so I can't talk, too much garbage. But if anything, it taught me that if I were to do something like that and make some grand interconnected universe of some sort, I would need to do better. I would need to really sit down and say, if we can't do it like this, then we don't need to do it at all. You know?
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, give the people 100%. It's why Star Wars died. You know?
True.
It's why Marvel
Well, that's why Marvel is dying.
is on life support. Yeah, exactly. It's why.
So I'm hoping Doctor Strange will be cool.
Well, it's why the comic book industry in general is dying. You know,
True.
like it's just.
That's why manga's thriving.
Yeah, well, because manga is not afraid to
just
do
doesn't
original
care.
ideas. Yeah, it's not afraid
Just
to do
doesn't
original
care.
ideas and do what it wants to do. So,
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
like,
It's not up in the politics of all of it.
but
It's
yeah,
not afraid to build its own world.
that Gotham by Gaslight has a lot of potential in my mind, even though I know it's already been out and done its thing and it's run its course. To me, if it didn't do a lot of what I'm saying, then it missed an opportunity there, dude. I mean, it just missed an opportunity there. And if you disagree with me, like anybody out there who disagrees with me, grow up. Grow up, dude.
Quit being a
Grow
pussy.
up.
Quit being a pussy.
Yeah. Yeah, quit
Don't be
just
a
saying,
little
no,
bitch."
it's great because it's Batman. No, that's not true. That's not true. It's not just great because it's Batman. Because Batman's great. So his story should reflect him, you know? And I don't need every other issue to involve the Joker. You know? The
True.
Joker's a great villain, but he's only a great villain in moderation.
Yeah.
You know? It seems like nowadays they overuse him, you know, and
It's just because he's self issues.
yeah, well, I mean, to the I don't want to say the wrong kind of people. What's the word I'm looking
Yes.
to he sells issues, but he's not really selling issues, and that's the thing. Like the comic book industry is dying, right?
Well, yeah.
And that's the thing. Like back when I was reading comic books, the Joker would be gone for a good length of time. Like you wouldn't see him at all, and then out of nowhere, all of a sudden you'd have a comic book featuring the Joker, and that would grip you because you'd be like, "Oh, the Joker's back," and then you always got the impression that the entire time he's been gone, the writers have
He's been
acknowledged
coming up
this.
with something.
The writers acknowledged his absence in the fact that whatever scheme he has hatched, you can tell that this entire time he's been gone, it's because he's been planning this for a while. And
Yeah,
that's what makes him the biggest nemesis that Batman has, because he's the only one who truly is that methodical. As
right.
crazy as he is, he's methodical, you know?
He is.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. You know what my issue with comic books is? They're too damn short. They're just too damn short.
well, they're short.
Mon-
They're short now. They're full of too many freaking advertisements.
well, yeah, I mean, like, even I can remember reading an older comic, reading old comics when I was younger and being like, it's over? Like,
Yeah.
that's it? Because it's like, I don't know, like, I don't know.
No, I agree, and I miss the days of like single issue comics where you got the full story
Yeah,
in just one comic. You didn't have to, you know, which it's not a
prefer
bad thing.
graphic novels
Yeah, it's not
for
a
that reason.
bad thing that comics will tell a story over a series of several comics. And so you have to,
Right, no, that's
you're in
fine.
there. You're trying to make money off of this craft, and the labor is worth his wages. So that's okay, but I do miss the days where you could pick up just one comic and get an entire story out of that comic and be like, "Oh, well, that was a neat little
Well,
short story."
it's not even necessarily that. Like, I'm fine with the continuity of it. I just feel like in the sense where there's not enough pages, man. It's
Oh,
just
right.
like, this is really short.
Yeah,
This is really short.
it
And
feels
maybe
like
it's
just
because
a
I've like
sample.
read, right. Maybe it's because I read more manga growing up anyway. But manga, like, manga issues like that you buy in the booklet form have several chapters. It takes you like an hour to read a complete manga.
Hmm.
Like one of their issues, I guess. Like they come out chapter by chapter, and if you read the magazines, I guess, like the Shonen Weekly or whatever, then you get it chapter by chapter. But I mean, shoot, man, like,
Yeah, mangas are
and
thick. They are some thick boys.
they're thick boys, aren't they? Like,
They really are,
I think
and I
comic I think comic books could
learn a thing or two from them.
benefit from, yeah, following a similar, either that or adapting to a similar style to how the Japanese do it, in the sense where they put out chapters in a magazine or a catalog rather than selling individual issues that are just really short.
Well,
You know,
I agreed with you about the graphic novels. I always loved graphic novels growing
I
up as
love
a kid.
graphic novels.
Uh, The Killing Joke. That
Yeah,
was
I prefer them.
I had the original Killing Joke too. So if
Dang,
it, for anybody out there who, yeah, it got stolen from me, but I did
dang.
have it, and I had because there was two kinds. There's one with orange lettering and the one with yellow lettering, and if you had the orange lettering, you had first print, I believe. Maybe it was the other way around, but there was two different ones. But I had
Yeah,
the first print version of it, and it got stolen from me.
yeah.
So, and I just want to
Uh,
point that out. So, for anybody out there who's like, this guy don't know about Batman, get wrecked. Get wrecked. You only know about the Killing Joke because after Christopher Nolan's Batman,
After the fact, yeah.
yeah. And then the cartoon came out. Whatever. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to be hateful. But get wrecked. Seriously, get wrecked. I had that Killing Joke,
No,
and yeah, I had that, and I loved that graphic novel, man. I used to read that thing like that would have been worth some money, but I read it too much. I loved it too much,
aw, feels.
and and I still do have what was that? I do have the series of graphic novels. There's like 6 or 7 of them, where where the anti-life equation for the DC fans, the heavy DC fans out there, where the anti-life equation first comes into play, even first is mentioned. Oh, I can't remember what the name of that is, and I almost want to break them out just so I can look at it. Oh, why can't I remember the name of my own comic books? It's because I haven't touched them in so long. What was that called? Shoot, I'll
Feels.
remember it tonight when I go to bed. But yeah, it was like 6 or 7 graphic novels, and it's the story of the anti-life equation and how Superman and Batman and who else is it? Firestar, John Jones, the Martian Manhunter.
Dang.
Oh yeah, all sorts of people team up. Man, Darkseid gets in there, gets in on it, and he actually assists them to stop the anti-life equation. Now he's got his own scheme going where he's actually trying to plot on how he can harness that and use it to conquer the universe. But for the time being, he's helping them, and all this stuff, and it's good. Like the Infinity Gauntlet series is good, hands down. Great comic, great series of comics. But this series of comics are they're dark and they're gritty, and they deal with some serious themes. Let me see. Let me Google this real fast. DC graphic. How do you spell equation? No, I know.
EQ. Okay.
Yeah, no, I know how.
Oh.
I know how. I forgot for a second, but life equation, fourth world. Where was it? Well, it doesn't really matter. I wish I could remember just so I could get. Was it the Cosmic Odyssey? That feels right. I think it's called the Cosmic Odyssey. The big blockbuster style, James Mike, the 0 Hour, the First Crisis 0 Hour, blah blah blah. Yeah, before enlisting the aid, a team of heroes. Okay, so the new gods cannot hope to defeat the anti-life equation. Instead, they join forces with Darkseid, their greatest and most powerful enemy, before enlisting the aid of the team of heroes from Earth. The story mythic in both scope and execution, and rarely does anything happen that isn't quite literally of earth-shattering importance. That is a good example of what happens there. And John Stewart, the black Green Lantern,
Yeah.
because there's like 3 Green Lanterns, and John Stewart's the black one. He, in that series, he actually, I remember this, he fails and accidentally blows up gets an entire planet blown up by the anti-life equation. Because they have to split up into teams. Like, they split up in teams of 2 and chase the anti-life equation that has broken itself up into, like, several different, like, aspects. And basically it wants to go onto these planets and destroy them, because if he destroys these planets and these different solar systems, it'll collapse our entire Milky Way, causing enough antimatter that it can enter our existence and spread anti-life through the rest of all reality. And so they break up into teams of 2 and go to different planets to try and stop this thing, the different aspects. And John Stewart, the Green Lantern, and John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, go to this one planet to try and stop it, and John Stewart gets all kinds of like egotistical because he's a Green Lantern, right? You know, so he could do all kinds of crazy stuff. And the Martian Manhunter, though he's not necessarily as cosmically powerful as John Stewart is, he's more methodical and this and that, but John Stewart just doesn't take him seriously enough. And so he basically encapsulates the Martian Manhunter in this bubble and tells him pretty much, get wrecked. I don't need your help. I'll go handle this thing. This thing can't stop me. Everything gets thrown at us, it can't stop me, because what the aspect does is it goes, finds the planet's greatest resource, like weapon-wise, and then uses it. You know what I mean? So, on this planet that they go to, its greatest weapon really is the fact that it can control its own weather. So it goes to it finds their greatest weather machine and just starts wrecking that planet with like tornadoes and hurricanes and stuff, you know what I mean? And like I said, John Stewart's just shrugging it all off because he's a Green Lantern. He's like, nah, man, that's a tornado. Shoot, I'll just put us in an unbreakable shell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Type of thing. But the Martian Manhunter almost gets himself wrecked. And so John Stewart just looks at him as a liability, encapsulates him, and tells him, don't worry, I got this. And the Martian Manhunter tells him, don't do this. You know what I mean? Like, don't you dare do this. I may still be of some use to you. And he's like, nah, I'm good, No chance, right? Takes off. He's flying, and I remember this, man, because as I was reading this, it just completely freaking, like, I swear, bro, like, I dropped like a log in my pants from this. Like, I was just like, oh, because it's heartbreaking in a way, because he's like talking as he's flying towards this weather machine. He's like, I can't remember verbatim, because I can't even remember when I read these comics, It was the year of our Lord, you know what I mean? No, but he's flying towards this weather machine, and he's just, nothing could stop me, and then he gets there, he's like, I can't be stopped, and then all of a sudden the panel zooms in on his face, and he just looks shattered, like there's tears coming from his eyes. He's already crying, and it just shows the person who's working with the anti-life aspect, because it's always got some kind of follower or some kind of little henchman, helping it. It's little henchmen who you don't see much of. This is the only time you actually see him, standing there by the weather machine, And he goes, really? Nothing? And what he's done is he's painted the weather machine, because what they're doing is they're going to overcharge this thing, because once it collapses, it'll cause like a chain of events that will basically be like a nuclear explosion. It'll boil the seas, blah, blah, blah. It's going to break the planet and send it into chaos. You know what I'm saying? And he's painted the entire machine yellow, because it is a flaw in the Green Lantern's rings that they cannot affect anything yellow. If it's the color yellow, the ring cannot touch it. It doesn't matter what you will it to do. I'm going to turn it into a hammer. Then you make the hammer, right? A giant hammer with your ring, and try to smash it. The hammer's actually the manifestation of the hammer from that ring is going to shatter. It cannot affect anything yellow.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and he's just standing there and he goes, really? Nothing? And it shows him with the paintbrush in his hand and the can of yellow paint on it. And John Stewart's like, how did you know? How did you... Boom. Explosion. The planet just explodes. And then it goes back to John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, sitting in the bubble, and he's watching the devastation heading his way, and all he says is, You damn fool. And then, you know? And the only people who survive is John Jones and John Stewart because the ring knew to protect them both. But beyond that, the entire planet
That's
is
cool.
destroyed. And it's John Stewart's fault. And it's such a crazy story after that. Like every character involved in this story has some kind of arc and some kind of growth, and this is a part of his and John Jones's. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's all said and done, John Stewart's like sitting on like just a piece of floating planet debris that was probably somebody's home, front yard or something. You know what I mean? And he's just crying, and he's like, I didn't know. And you see John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, come floating through space down to him, and I can't remember what he says, but I remember the last things he tells him. He says, "I will never forgive you for this," and then just walks away from him. You know? Oh, it's crazy, dude. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that is
so
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, it's so crazy. And like, you could say that maybe I'm just reading this from something, and telling you like I own the comics. So I am going to take a screenshot of this and post this on our channel so people can see that I do own these comics that I say I own. You know what I mean? Like, I am a fan of the old school comic book industry and the fact that DC once upon a time used to tell stories so thought out. You know what I mean? That, I mean, it's just they're just phenomenal. It was just a phenomenal story, and that's just one of the arcs that takes place in this in that series. You know what I mean? With the anti-life equation, that Cosmic Odyssey. You know, yeah. So as much as I do like the Infinity Gauntlet series, if DC could pull its thumb out of its butt and actually make a Cosmic Odyssey movie, I truly feel like that'll do that would be better in a sense for a more mature audience though, you know.
Yeah,
Marvel
yeah,
serves to give us something for the kids, and I get that, and it's all fantastical, and it's fresh looking. I guess it all looks clean. You know what I mean? Looks real stylized, and I get that. But for the audience who have grown and you know want to see a little bit more of a grittier story that is epic, I I would suggest finding it. Whether you can get it on digital download or whatever, find it and read that series. You know. Hold on a second. Ariana, turn that TV down. Now I am recording, and that is rude. Okay, I love you.
hello, 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 hello.
Yeah, I know. There's no way to pause that either. Like everybody just heard me tell my daughter to turn that down, but man, I can hear Bat Dad in the background, and I'm pretty sure a lot of what I was just saying because she had it up so loud.
I mean, I didn't even notice.
I bet you it came up on the recording though. So I'm gonna be
It
talking
might
in
have a
this
little
like
bit.
grand scope and everything, and then in the background you're gonna hear this guy. I'm Bat Dad. In a way, it kind of fits though because I'm talking about DC, and then we got a big DC fan in the background,
Kinda,
being
kinda.
Bat Dad. So I mean, it all works. But in the end, you got to
Yeah.
teach kids manners, man. So she needs to turn that down, like down. She needs to take it down a notch. She's at 75. She needs to bring it down to a cool 50. You know. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
I
feel you.
I thought I'd leave us off with that. Is there anything you'd like to leave us off with? Because I don't want to overpower this. I got a big personality, and I'm not saying that as a brag. In fact, I think it's a curse.
I
So,
feel you.
I
Me too.
yeah, I don't want to overpower this. So, is there
Yeah, I
something
don't
you
know.
would like to just be like, yeah, what?
Fuck
Speaking of
bitches,
which,
get
man,
money.
save the whales. Oh yeah, do what?
Oh, oh, oh. Fuck the Chinese government.
Oh,
Definitely
wow.
that.
Here we are with
Definitely that.
and we just got shadow banned, ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck the Chinese government. Free Hong Kong. And keep on rocking in the free world.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Keep
man.
on rocking in the free world. Man, if we didn't have to pay for it, I would play that at the end of this. Well, because I'm too cheap to buy that. I'm to pay for that. I'm not gonna do that. Maybe one day. I don't know. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and maybe if we build up enough fan following, years from now, I might just remember that I said this, and just out of the blue one day, just end it with "Keep on rocking in the free world," and then everybody will be like, "What the?"
You can't even sing it.
Huh?
You can't even sing it.
Well, I stopped.
They'll get you.
Oh, wow.
They'll get you if you even sing it.
There's people on here all the time who do their own renditions.
I
of
know.
stuff.
I'm just being a dick.
Oh, I was really kind of getting worried for a minute there, and then I was like, wait a minute. Why am I letting my balls shrink into my stomach? Like, man up. Come back outside. It's nice out here. It's summertime.
Yeah.
Get out.
No,
When it's winter again, you can hibernate. When it's winter, you can hibernate. Should see it during the winter, man. It just looks like a piece of flesh hanging there.
I'm glad I don't.
I'll send you a picture. Next winter, I'll send you a picture.
All right, fair enough.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening to our mad banter. We're going to do this again, next week, you say? Do this maybe once a week?
Yeah, sometime.
Gives me a couple of days to get this edited and slapped on there with a little bit of a love, a little bit of, aw.
If you say so.
Get a little, oh yeah.
Ostentatious.
Ostentatious. Austin Powers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could go off on that, but I'm not going to. We're going to cut this now because I'm pretty sure we've gone a good, probably about an hour, would you say?
Something like that.
No, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
All right, everybody. This has been Pog.
Oh, I'm Android.
I tried to do something formal, and you're just like, I'm not doing that. F the corporations.
Oh, I just didn't realize. But yeah,
Lights
I'm
out!
Android.
Gorilla Radio!
You're fucking fired!
You're over there raging against the machine, and it's our own channel. My goodness.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice. That is
you're
me.
like, we're the renegades of funk. Oh my gosh. All right, let's try that again. You ready? In 5, 4, 3. I did 2 and 1 silently because that's the way they do it in the industry. I know you can't see my hands, but just take my word for it, people.
Okay.
All right, everybody. This has been Pog.
And I'm Android.
And this has been our mad banter. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And, tell us in the comments how much we suck.
Don't try to be good for everyone, 'cause everyone can hurt you and get right in your soul. You become a savage on your own.